All right, so this is going to be an introduction as to how to make a Facebook business page, how to make a Facebook group, and then how to use the third-party scheduling tool called Vizzlie. Let's see here. I'm hoping everyone is able to see the screen here. Okay. So one thing I want to share about first real quick, if you guys can notice that on my Facebook page, there is something missing. Can anyone tell me what's missing on my Facebook? So I have a thing on here. I have Google Chrome and I have an extension that's called the News Feed Eradicator. And so what that does is it does this. It takes away all of the garbage, all of the things that could distract me on Facebook, and then replaces it with this little quote. So if you have Google Chrome, you can actually search for it as an ad extension. And I think it's really, really useful because I primarily use Facebook for my business, and I don't want to get caught scrolling when I am sitting down to do work time. That being said, too, there's no way to do this on the app on your phone. And so I try to not to do business on my phone because I always will get caught scrolling and like watching reels and seeing what's going on with, you know, my friend from college when I do that. So this helps me to stay on task for what I'm doing. So to create a business page, this little 9 square here is where you can go to either find any of your things that you have going on, search for friends, groups, search for pages you follow, pages that you run, and then also to organize and organize other like to do events. You can like look from here. But here's where it says create. So you can create a post, you can create a story, you can create a reel, life event, create. What you're going to look for is page. And I'm not actually going to create a page. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So you're going to put your page name. I just call myself Jess Touche Freedom Fighter, but you can be creative with it. If you're already thinking along the lines of branding, you can certainly create like, what is your personal business going to be? What is your theme? What is your niche of people that you're looking to serve? Category, I think it's going to be shopping service is probably going to be the best fit for what we are. And then in the bio, it's optional. But I say Better Way Designs is an ethical fashion brand that uses the sale of products to help to empower survivors of human trafficking. So anyway, once I go through this, you go create page. It's going to ask you some information about like your contact information. And then you want to find a good profile picture. My top recommendation on this is do not pick the same picture that you have as your profile, because I'll show you on Facebook when you're going to switch between accounts. So here is my personal page, and I make it so that my business page looks different. So I'll kind of show you what this looks like when I get to it. Oh, come on. Well, come on. Let me be on here. Why isn't it? There we go. Okay. So this is my business page. And so I like took some pictures of earrings. That's why I used as my background. You can kind of poke around for banners and pictures that you want to use for that. And then honestly, I don't post a ton from my business page. I do on occasion, and sometimes I'll like go live from my business page as well. But for the most part, I do things in my VIP group. Because that's where my people are. That's where my customer group is. So now, like I said, I normally create a business page or I create a group for a party from my business page. And the reason I do that is because if you create it from your personal page, it will be defaulted to only allow personal profiles, but not pages. So it's an extra step that you have to go into the group settings and you have to change it from doing that. And so in order to stop that, I just create it from the business page first. So I'm actually creating a group for my upcoming party. I am not super creative with titles, and I don't think you necessarily have to. Normally mine has something to do with shopping for freedom, Better Way Designs, shopping ethically. So this one I'm going to call A Better Way to Shop. And then I talk about my live presentation. Everything in your party should be focused around when you're going to be presenting. That is taking the place of your in-person party. Oh my goodness. live presentation. And what day is it going to be on? I always do my lives on Tuesday. You can do live presentation whenever it fits in your schedule. I always do Tuesdays because my schedule, that's when it fits in my schedule. Mondays are meetings, Tuesdays are live presentation, Wednesdays we do church stuff for our kids. Thursdays, Fridays, I do parties. Saturdays, my date night with my husband. And Sundays, I am using to prep for the week. So the only night that my family is able to do live presentations are Tuesdays. It works out really well because most people happen to be home at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. Gosh, I was looking at here. I didn't even see the date. Okay, the 19th. Live presentation, 9/19 at 8 p.m. CST. Privacy, I always choose private just because in a public group, anyone can join, and it's going to pop up in your friends' news feeds about things that you're posting in this group. And if you don't want this to come across as kind of spam, like you really want to make sure that it's private, but you do want to make it visible. If you make it hidden, people won't be able to use a link to get into it. They'll have to be invited using the invite button. And I really try to communicate with my hosts that I don't want the invite button being used because people miss it. So here I'm going to create the party. And then the first thing that I'm going to do, and now normally I have my phone, and I do have Facebook on my phone. This is the one thing that I do use my phone for, is because I am friends with myself. Otherwise you're going to have to like copy the link, send it to yourself, because you have to invite your personal profile into the group then. Okay, so now I'm going to go on my phone, and in my phone notifications, it's going to tell me that an admin invited me to join a group. So I'm going to join it, and then I'm going to refresh the page. And then now I'm in the group, but now I have to make my personal page an admin in the group as well. And so I'm going to send an invite for that. Then what I'm going to do, because I want everything that I'm doing to actually be from my personal page, because I don't like the business messenger. So I want people messaging my personal inbox, plus otherwise it'll get lost. I have created a graphic for this month. I create a lot of graphics using Canva, and so that's what I choose to use. I like making my own things. You can get pictures of products from the website, and the company does not have problems. The only thing that you can't use is you don't want to use the company's logo and everything like that for without permission. So I'm going to save changes to that. Okay, so now the group is kind of a shell of what I want it to be once that saves. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh the page because I accepted that admin invite, and I'm going to go to manage. Then I'm going to go down. So this is a tool that you're going to use once the party starts, but I'm not going to do anything with it yet. And what I'm going to do is the day that I approve all member requests, I'm going to change it to approve member request if, and I'm going to click, so not account page, if they have at least one friend in the group. I'm not doing it yet because I don't want people in the group who have the link to it until I'm ready for the party to start, right? This is like cleaning your house for an in-person party. You don't want people walking in the door before you're ready for it. In the same way, I want my party to be presentation ready. So then I'm going to go to group settings. You have a name and your name and description here. So what I normally do is I go to because I have a past party. Let's see here. I'm going to refresh. There we go. And I'm going to search. I'm going to go to one of my past parties. And like, if you were recently in a party, you can do this too. If you've had a launch party, you can take and copy and paste things if you want to. And then just eventually you'll want to kind of make things more your own. But I love giving you guys a basis of how you can start things out because I didn't have that when I was first starting out. And I find it really helpful to be able to have, someone there who's giving a guide, right? So I have the special here, buy 2 items, get 2 50% off. I'm going to talk about hosting a party. Basically, one thing you'll notice is I'm going to talk about hosting a party and becoming a freedom fighter the entire time throughout the party. Okay, but I'm going to save that. And that's going to be in the description of the group now. So it has the link. So now you're telling people that's where it's going to be. You can customize the web address for the group. I used to do it a lot more, but now it's like, it doesn't really matter quite as much. I'm going to leave everything else. This is kind of fun. You can make it so that it coordinates colors of the group with the banner, kind of makes it a little bit more branded. So you're going to leave it here. Only profiles can join, approve member requests, change that to admins and moderators because you don't want spam accounts being let in and some people don't know who they are. Who is pre-approved to join. I used to have people in my VIP group, but I've found that it's not really necessary because a lot of those people who are hosting end up being friends with me anyway on Facebook. Something that I would recommend. Here, I don't necessarily change a whole lot other than, so like here, you can sort posts, you can make it so that new posts pop up, but I really actually want the most relevant to pop up because I want the ones that have a lot more commenting to show up at the top because it means that those are likely ones that I've asked for people to engage with, and that's what I want people to see. Then I'm going to sort comments. I don't want them to filter out comments. So I'm going to set it to be all comments. Okay. I don't want them to sort things out and say that things are spam. I don't really use reels. I don't use rooms. So on this one, I'm just going to remove it because I don't want some random person saying, hey, I'm going to create a room. Community chats you can use for like party announcements. Depends on the group. Sometimes they're popular, sometimes they're not. Now, linked pages, I don't have to do anything because my business page is already linked to the group. But in apps, this is where we're going to go to that third-party scheduler. And I'm going to add Vizzlie. Clicking add here. And then I'm going to go to home. I'm going to refresh the screen and you can see, oh, didn't even need to refresh it. It says here that I added the third-party app Vizzlie to the group. You can leave it there, but oftentimes people are going to be like, what is that? And then you have to explain, oh, it's a third-party scheduler that I use. Like, so basically Vizzlie is posting on my behalf. So what I do is I just delete that post. Vizzlie's still in the group, but it doesn't freak people out. And this one here, I'm going to pin to the featured posts because it has all that information that I want people to see. And oftentimes what I'll do then is I'll also like put the shopping link. I'll like take all of these things here. Well, if I can, if it'll let me copy and paste it. Here we go. Copy it and paste it. If anyone doesn't know, Control C and Control V. Control C is copy, Control V is paste. So it saves a lot of time when you're getting things set up. Okay. So this is just the basic of the party. Then what I'm going to do a little bit later is I'm going to put in a shopping link where people can, it'll say like in a graphic that it's a shopping link. Now I'm going to go over and I'm going to show you Vizzlie. So the first thing that I'm going to have you guys do when you are setting up your own is you got to sign in. You got to sign in and set up an account with Vizzlie. Obviously, I already have an account, so I can't really set one up. But if you want to write this down, when you create your account, if you want to use this VECH6K6, that's my referral code. You can certainly put it in there. For every 2 referrals with a paying subscription, it helps me get a little bit of a discount. But you can, if you're doing 1 party a month on Vizzlie, you do not have to pay anything. It's a free account. If you do more than 1 party a month, so like I do 2 to 3 online parties a month, I pay $10 a month or $100 for the year. But this is saving me hours and hours of work of scheduling posts on Facebook. And so for me, $100 a year is well worth the time it saves me with having to copy and paste and schedule and make sure that I have it all in there right. I've already designed this so that it's all ready for you. And so what I'm going to show you, so what you're going to do when you do create your account, make sure when you're creating your account, you log in using Facebook. Don't log in using your email because eventually it's going to make you log in, log out. It's going to make you put in Facebook anyway. So make sure that you go ahead and do that. But what you're going to do when you first get your account, when you first get in there, you're going to go to Teams. Okay. And you're going to click on join/create team and you're going to type in team free and you're going to find the team. And then, so I'm already a member, but there'll be a button here that says click here to join the team and it'll say that you were requesting it. It's automatically approved. If you search for me, you'll be able to search for the team. You'll be able to find it. If anyone is wondering, team free stands for freedom relies on the empowerment of everyone. Because it's not just artisans that need to be empowered. You also need to be empowered. You need to be equipped. And that's something that we're very passionate about on this team, making sure that you are empowered, that this business is serving you as well. So anyway, once you click to join, you can refresh the page and it'll show up down here. You're going to click this little caret and you're going to go to Facebook templates. Then under Facebook templates, you'll be able to see a 5-day freedom party. This is the most basic. It's just the skeleton of the party. There's going to be a few spots on it that you'll need to fill in once you download. But so I'll just go through here. I'm going to show you quick a preview of these posts. So here is something that'll come up, and you will change this to your name. If you're doing a single host party, you can just change this to your host's name, or if you work with multiple hosts in one week, you can just change it to your hosts and I are so thankful to have you here. And I've created some graphics to go with it. So one thing that's unique about my personal parties is I do videos. If you ever want to be more personal, you can pre-record videos and share those in the party as well. Okay, so this one, it just says comment below where you live and an interesting fact. This one, I have not chosen to do like giveaways attached to anything because your business is your business. So if you want to do giveaways, which we do recommend at least one giveaway per hostess that you're working with, you know, and then giving away gifts for bookings as well. But of course, everything is your business, so you can choose to do that or not. All right, so you click through here, and each of these posts are going to be posted at a certain day. We have it set up that it's a 5-day party with a 1-day pre-party. That's this day here. So for example, if you wanted your party group to open on a Saturday with a couple of posts in the group, which we only have 2 here. So it gives you flexibility that you can add some additional interactive posts, something not business related. You can search for them on Google, or you can ask me if you want any suggestions. But this is where it starts out. But if you want it to open on Saturday, you want to have day 1 of your party be Sunday. Okay. So whatever day you want to be opening the group, you're just going to have it designed so that there's a 1-day pre-party, just how I had created it. But you'll see here, it tells an exact time of the day that the post is going to be posting. Now, for those of you guys in different time zones, you may need to go in and change it so that it's more reflective of where you would be posting. Because like if you're in East Coast time, I don't know if you're going to be posting, or if you know, some of them might end up being too late, or if you're on like the West Coast, this is going to be at like, you know, 5 o'clock in the morning. So you might want to adjust that once you get that into your profile. So what you're going to do to be able to get that is you're just going to go copy to personal. And then, so I'm just going to put on here. So I'm going to, oh gosh. So I'm not actually going to download it because my personal one has the same title on it. So I'm going to hit, because it's not letting me change the title on here. But anyway, once you do that, then when you go to templates, you're going to go to Facebook, you'll see that it'll share, like I have a whole bunch of different things on here. This is an example of a team template, probably from a while ago. Yeah, so this was the one that I had last year. But see, it's kind of still listing it the same way. But this has outdated information, so you don't necessarily need to see the exact graphics, products, and things like that, but it's kind of the same lines. So what I'm going to show you, so you notice in the Facebook group, is that this one? Whoop, what just happened? All right, so in the Facebook group, I added Vizzlie in there. It's all in there, ready to go. My business page is there. My personal page is there. You may want to go to pages and add in your business page if you create one. You can use Vizzlie to schedule out posts on your business page as well. I just don't actively post on my business page, so I don't use it. Otherwise, you're going to go to groups. And it takes a little while. Vizzlie is not a super fast website, but it works. There are other posting platforms that you can use as well. We just found Vizzlie, and at the time when we were kind of scouring to figure out what we wanted, it offered exactly what we wanted at a price that was fitting, and it works. So one thing to note is, you know, I have all of these groups that I have added in here, and I'm going to untrack them. You don't necessarily need to keep them in there once you're done posting in them. So I'm going to untrack this group. Okay, just to show you guys that you can do that. I also have a test group. So anytime I'm doing something new, I schedule it to post in the test group. That way I can test it out before it's like live in a party. So here, a better way to shop, live presentation here. I'm going to click track group. I'm going to click track. And I'm just going to show you how I put in my personal template. So I'm going to open the group. Okay, so there's a couple things here. One, it says posting is turned off. That's good. No business page is connected. You could probably continue posting without a business page. And because I like in my templates, I don't put any like sales things. I'm not like asking people to buy things directly from the page. But I'm going to add this on here anyway. You'll notice it'll say we have a new pages experience. Couple things to note, and I'll show you. I'm going to check here. I am actually going to say no. Don't set upcoming posts and comments to post as the business. Connect to the group. Like I said, I post from my personal page, and that's actually because some of the things don't work. Like posting a video doesn't work from the business. Okay. So just to make sure you notice, use a template. And I'm going to go to my 5-day freedom party. You choose your start date. So mine is a little bit different than mine's a little bit different than the one that I made for the team. Mine, I actually have a 2-day pre-party. It doesn't really make a difference. It's just how I built it. And then post as you want to change that probably to your personal page. You can choose to import some posts or you can choose to import all of them. I like importing all of them. So I have it all set up the way that I want it. Now, there's a couple things that you will note when you post as a personal profile. I have comments scheduled, and you can do that, and it's really nice. However, you have to change it to be posting as your business page because you can't schedule out posts to post as your business. An easy way to kind of simplify that is just not having comments, but like I like having all of the like links in the comments instead of in the main post. Because if it's in a main post, Facebook will actually decrease the visibility of the post itself because they don't like things being updated. Okay. When you notice, I have a fill in the blank here. So this is on my post for our trip to Mexico that we can earn through points, through selling products and through building a team. And we got 9 months left to earn the trip. So I'm going to say this and I have it in there so that I just constantly update it. Okay. I am not going to keep, going through and having you watch me changing all of these things to my business page. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to show you what you have to do. See, it's posting is turned off and you're going to toggle it to on. All right. So the next post that's going to go out is going to be tomorrow morning at 7:36. So I'm going to continue and then it's going to do a countdown to when the next post is going to post. So I actually have something that's a Who is Better Way Designs post that goes out on Friday morning so that it's there in the group when everyone is admitted into the group. And then I'm going to be giving my hostesses the link to the group tomorrow morning so they can start sending it out to their guests that are interested. So I have, so that's basically how you do it. If anything goes wrong, you'll get an email to the email associated with your Facebook account. So if you need to change it, you can by going into your account information on Vizzlie. You'd have to kind of take a look, probably up here. So profile, you'd change it in here. If anything goes wrong, sometimes Facebook gets angry about things and then it toggles this to off. Okay. And so you'll have to go in and then you have to figure out what's wrong. You might have to copy and paste a post that Facebook's having a problem with to make sure that it goes again. But one thing that's just so nice is that now this is all posting on my behalf, right? It's the entire party. And all I have to worry about is scheduling a couple times throughout the day where I can go in and personally interact with people on the party. You want to make sure that when people are commenting on posts, that no comment ever goes unresponded to. So I'm going to turn off the screen share. And I would love, if anyone has any questions about anything, I can turn back screen share if we need to. But does anyone have any questions about what I went over?
It's Rochelle.
Yeah.
And I'm getting an echo.
Oh, it looks like you're on 2 different devices. All right. Did you have a question, Rochelle?
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So when you go in to correct something, do you have to turn that toggle to the post off and then
No,
turn it back on?
nope. You can go in and you can start editing things that are going to be happening in the future at any time. Once it posts, it'll actually tell you that the post has posted, and then you can't edit it at that point. But before it's posted in the group, um, before it's posted in the group, it will allow you to alter it, change it, and do whatever you want to. And I do encourage you guys, if you're doing online parties, go through my verbiage, go through what I have written and make it in your voice, because people will likely, especially if it's someone who knows you, they'll be able to tell what's in your voice or if it's not. So if I say something that is not in it, that's not the language you would use, just say it in your own words. And that can be really helpful to make sure that this party is yours and it becomes that way, and if you guys ever want to tweak things, or if you are ever interested in designing posts on Canva is a really cool tool that you can use to design different kinds of graphics. I know Tristan is acquainted in doing it, but as you guys you can kind of swap out posts for other things that you see, or if someone in the encouragement page shares a graphic and you're like, oh, I really like that, I want to incorporate that into my party, you can certainly do that as well. And that's actually something that I didn't share with you guys. I'm gonna real quick share my screen again, so that you guys can see that. Okay, see here, gotta get to Vizzlie. So in the template, you're not stuck with the template. You can make a new post as well, and you can schedule it at whatever time. This will not stick in your template though. So like if I wanted to create something that's, posting on September 20th, and I wanted to add, add an image to it. So I'm going to go to image, and then you scroll down, you can upload it. So just say, goodness gracious, I have so many saved images. So just pretend like this is an image that I'm going to use. Okay. It's actually a thank you for booking a party graphic. So I'm not actually going to schedule it because I'll likely forget. But you would put your text in here, and then, but you can also post in Facebook. So once you are in here, you're not bound to only posting in Vizzlie to schedule things. You can, so I just got to find where it's at now. Okay. So it's lining up on the 20th, where it's just scheduled to say thank you. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and here, and I'm going to then delete it. Otherwise I will literally forget. And then in my party, it's randomly going to be there. So I'm just going to show you quick. So like, I was saying the shopping link is something that I like to have in there. And so I'm going to go on here. I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take that out, and I'm going to put it down here. And then I'm going to actually go here to add a photo. And oh, it should be in my new party pictures, I think. Otherwise I have to search through my graphics. Yeah, shopping link here. So I made a graphic that literally just says, hey, here's the shopping link. And if you are on a computer, you can highlight and you can actually make your text look bigger or smaller. So like here, if I wanted to, I could do this, and it's going to make everything, bolder. And then here, I'm going to make it, and this is how I make it so that my text looks more diverse and it jumps out to people when they do that. You can actually schedule posts to be published in Facebook, or you can just schedule it in real time as well. Okay, so this one I'm gonna actually mark to be posted at 3 p.m. because I want it to be posted at a different time. If you use the Facebook scheduler, you're gonna go over to scheduled posts, and it's gonna show up right there, and you can reschedule, you can post now, or if you click up here, it's gonna allow you to be able to edit it. sorry, kind of went on and elaborated more on your question. I just want to make sure that I'm being thorough. How can we save a new post to be saved in the template? You go to, so Tristan asked how to save a new template in Vizzlie. So let's take you back there. Sorry to be jumping back and forth here. I just like being able to see people when people are chatting, and the things don't show up very well here. So in here, so this is actually in my party, and you can actually take this if you like make it and you design it, and you're like, oh, this is really good. I want to turn this into a template. You can click here and you can click turn into a template. And you can select all, and then you would say next, and then it's going to ask for information kind of proceeding forward. So you can do that. Or you just go to your Facebook templates here, and let's go to, this is the one that's mine. So I'm going to make sure to put that in here, and you say new post, and then you decide, like on this one, I have a couple days before, but you say like, the first day of the party, one day after the start time. So that's going to be day 2 of the actual party. I'm not going to have it be relative to the start time. I'm going to have it be the exact time of the day. And I normally just offset it so that it's not making it right at the hour, just because Facebook is weird, and I have found if you offset things, it looks more organic, rather than something coming out right on the hour. And I don't want to risk Facebook censoring me because they think my stuff is spam. All right, so I'm gonna cancel that again because I'm not creating it. We have, oh, what is Linktree? That's a good question, and I will take you over to that. So Linktree is a posting platform that I use. Let me just go to, so this is a Linktree. So this is what in my party groups. This is where all of the parties, so my door prize survey, join my VIP group. Here's like an about us kind of. So for people who are not on Facebook, they can click through a Google form. It's incredibly outdated. I keep forgetting that I need to update it. Let's see here. And like here is takes them to the frequently asked questions on Better Ways website, because I know a lot of people have very specific questions, and it has details about our certifications, and then kind of all of these frequently asked questions. Here's the digital catalog, and then here is where you can go directly to shop on people's parties. And then for those of you guys who are launching this week, I just have to get your party links. And again, I can go through that if you need help figuring those out too. So I'm just going to go to Linktr.ee, and this is the login page. You log in using your email. I have 3 different email addresses, so I have 3 different link trees. So I've created a link tree with the onboarding information. I have one for my personal page, and then I have one for parties. So I'm just going to show you here. And I'm going to log in. And so actually I'm going to go in here because Jennifer sent me her link already for her party. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to show you, all you have to do is you click add link, and you click the party link. If you only have one hostess, you really don't need a link tree, but sometimes it's helpful because you can put, you can develop tools like, right, you can put a link to your VIP group, you can do a link to the digital catalog, and then you can have their direct shopping link as well. So I'm going to put in here, we're going to put Jennifer's launch party, and then I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it down to where my shopping links are. So that creates that. So I have little separations in here as well. So like here, there's a title, you can edit that. But you see like right here, I have a header on it. And the way that you do that, you just click add header. But you can also, like, you can embed videos from YouTube if you wanted to. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do. You can put your contact information. You can put a document in it where it kind of opens that up for people too. I choose just to keep it really simple. And I think this looks really straightforward if someone is shopping on a phone, or if they're on a website. So this is what it looks like on a phone. All right. Other questions that anyone has while I have this open? I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to make sure that I have your questions answered.
There's no cost to this Linktree?
No, there is not. Yeah, they will try to tell you that you can buy the Pro, but the only reason you get Pro is for analytics. And like you can modify the appearance of your link tree. So, but there are free, so like here, unlimited customization, make it look really cool. But there's a whole bunch of here, a whole bunch on here that you can use for free without having to pay for something additional. So like I could change my link tree so it would be all black here, or I could change it to be blue. Um, and so, if you're tired of how it looks, you can always change it to be something else. Maybe I'll change it to this color and we'll test it out. Yeah, there we go. We're going to test it out. We're going to have it be blue for a little while. Um, but it'll automatically save it on there. I don't have to like click any buttons or anything like that. But there's a graphic, and you can put a graphic on there to be able to allow yourself to showcase what you have. And like even some of the buttons like on here, for example, on the catalog, if I click on the thumbnail, I have it set so it's showing a picture of our journals. And so that way when people are scrolling through, they kind of get a visual of what that is. If you really wanted to be personal with your hostess, you could put her profile picture on here actually. I'd probably ask their permission, but it's a way that you can make it so that it's personal to them. So, all right, let's see, we got here. Yeah, the free version is just fine. Company colors, I mean, technically Better Way is like is teal most of the time. And that's kind of the branding colors that I choose as well, because that's what you're going to see on the website. So if I go to Better Way's website, you can see it's got this teal color going across here. It's the color that the bird is in the logo. And if anyone's wondering why there's a bird, it's because it's free. And that's why it's sitting there on the Better Way logo. But if you guys have any questions about anything, you want to learn more about the company, there is a wealth of information on this website. It was literally designed for people who want to hunt for information, right? So you can go to about, you can go to read about how we work, you can look at the impact. So if you're wanting to make sure that you are solid in knowing facts about how we measure impact, about information about the company, you can go and poke through on the website to look through that way. And then our 3Bs here, buy, book, become, and you can kind of click on any one of those to get a whole bunch of information. This talks about, how our impact hours are measured, our subscriptions that we carry. And if anyone has any additional questions about subscriptions, I can talk to you about those as well. Maybe not right now. We're at 40 minutes now. I want to answer your questions again. I just don't want to take too long in case for anyone who's watching the replay on it. So what other questions can I answer for you guys right now?
This is Rochelle again.
Yeah.
So if our party guests have joined your VIP group, should we also put them in our VIP group?
Please do.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to invite them to your customer group because of how we do our parties, and because we personally have it so that you guys piggyback when you're launching. There's not really a way for us to stop people from joining our VIP group who are your customers, but they're your customers. And so you definitely want to be inviting them to your community space and being able to offer that to them. Because they're your primary contacts. That was a really good question.
So then do we put join my VIP group, or do we just put them in there?
In that case, what I would probably do is I would create your VIP group by, creating, and like you don't have to do that from your business page. You can just do it from your personal page and create a group. You can post about it. You can in groups, you can use the invite button. I don't normally recommend it, but if you do use the invite button, because you can just go through here and Facebook will let you just like click and click and click and click. But what happens is it goes to people's news feed And so I wouldn't recommend it. What I would probably say is to the people who were in the party, people who are interested in it, or people that maybe you even forgot to mention, you can personally message them and say, "Hey, I started this business and I am starting up my own customer community group, and I would love to have you as a part of it as a founding member." And if you really want to drive people to it, say, "I'm going to be doing a giveaway once we get to 50 people in the group, and I would love for you to be there. Um, let me know if you'd like the link to join," and then they can say yes or no. I don't normally send links out anytime that I am communicating with people because it pops up a little image and it looks kind of spammy when you do that. So I don't recommend doing that with a link, but I would ask the question and say, "Would you like me to send you the link?" Because it's a little bit more personal then.
Thanks. That's super helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Any additional questions that we have? You guys have some really great questions, and I'm certain other people will benefit from it as well. So, just as a general rule, in-home parties are simpler. If you can do in-home parties with people, you get them to get people in the door, and then you go to the one party. Um, Facebook parties are nice because you can work with people all over the place. And sometimes there are people who wouldn't host an in-person party because they feel like their house isn't suitable for in-person parties. If that's the case, and someone is saying like, then like, could you offer your house, or is there a place locally that you can go set up like at a business after hours? Or I know we have a couple of restaurants in town that actually don't mind renting out the room as long as people are ordering food. So kind of consider things like that. I really think if there's someone local, you should be trying to do in-person parties rather than online. Online is just it's a lot of technical things. It's a lot of technical things, and it's actually more encompassing of your time overall, right? An in-person party, it's one evening. An online party, really, if you're gonna, because coaching your hostesses is super key to making sure that they know what they're doing. And we have a combination. I've been working with over 600 hosts in the past 3 years, probably well over that. But I have a combination of hostesses. I have one type of host that say, Jess gives me every single detail and I just follow her instructions and I know that my party goes well. And then you have other people that are like, you have so many things to do. This is not, I've hosted other parties, but it's not, um, but you're asking me to do a lot more. And I say, well, yes, because I've worked, like, me personally, like, I do what I do because I've seen the evidence that this is what I do is what's needed for the best party possible. And that's where you kind of really have to understand that, like, online parties, because you don't necessarily have a direct relationship with a lot of the hostesses, sometimes they're willing to say things to you that like an in-person host would never tell you, like, that you don't know what you're doing. And so, you just have that with online parties, but I coach starting the week before. I give a daily task every single day for the next 2 weeks, for my hostesses for online parties. Now you can try truncating it, but I find most of the time when you try shortening up things, you end up having people asking for an extension. So, we have fallen kind of in the system that we have with the 5-day party where it's really heavy Saturday to Tuesday on posting, and then it kind of trickles down after that, but we leave that party deadline open until Friday. You generally want a party to be open from Friday to Saturday because of paydays. We anytime we tried to shorten it, we always had hostesses that are like, "But I have friends that want to wait, that want to purchase, but they can't until payday." And so they want to have until Friday or Saturday night even. So kind of figuring out where it's going to fit in your schedule. When you start the party, you want to give at least 2 days before the day you go live, in my recommendation, because if you do it the same day, like, people are still joining the group, you're really not going to have enough traction yet. If you go too long, you might lose people by then. So, all right. The Tristan said she's going back to the 5-day party. It's a hard balance to figure out what's going to work the best sometimes. Right. Any other additional questions? Anything else that you would like me to show as far as tools or things online?
Thank you. This was really helpful.
Good. I'm gonna again, I have it recorded, so I'm gonna be posting the So I'm going to be posting it so you can also go through and review as well. But now that you've seen it, you can watch it again. You can kind of do a side by side as you're doing things as well, if you would like to. All right, I'm going to, let's see here. How do I figure this out?